Good morning, student. Today we are going to discuss the chemical properties of metal and non-metal. In the last video, we have seen the physical property, and in this video, we are going to see the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. So first of all, the first property is reaction with oxygen. So whenever any metal comes in contact of oxygen, it form oxide, and when the iron comes in contact of oxide and moisture, it form rust. So have you all seen rust in your day to day life? I think you have all seen the brown color appearance in the surface of iron. So we can very well know that whenever iron reacts with oxygen and water, it forms rust. The formula will be Fe2O3.H2O. This is the formula of rust. What is the formula? It is Fe2O3.H2O. So whenever any metal comes in a contact of oxygen, it gets oxidized and it forms oxide. For example, you also know that when magnesium comes in contact of oxygen, it forms magnesium oxide, the white color ash-like substances which is formed by the combustion of magnesium ribbon. So now we are going to test what is the nature of this rust. So for this we have to perform one activity. The activity is given, that activity is 4.3. So what we are going to do, we are going to collect the rust and we have to make a solution, and we will find that rust will remain suspended in water because it will not completely dissolve. But when we test this rust suspension word is given, not solution, because it is not completely dissolved. So what we are going to see, we are going to see that a red litmus paper is going to convert in blue. So you know what happens when red litmus converts into blue? It shows its basic character. Okay, so we can say that the metal forms the oxides which are basic in nature. By this activity is proved that because the red litmus paper is converting into blue litmus paper, so it is basic in nature. Now we can see that many metals like copper also, it also has greenish deposit on the surface of its vessel. Okay, so copper also turns into its oxide, or it may be hydroxide, or it may be carbonate, or it can be the mixture. Okay, so when the metal comes into the contact of oxygen, its compounds form. Same activity you can perform with the magnesium oxide also. When the magnesium ribbon is burned and the white color ash is formed, that ash, magnesium oxide, is also giving the same test. That means same red litmus paper is converting into blue litmus paper. So we can say that the metallic oxides are basic in nature. So this is important concept that you have to know, that all metallic oxides are basic in nature. So what we have learned? We have learned that when metal reacts with oxygen, it forms metal oxides, and these metal oxides are basic in nature because they are turning the red litmus paper into blue. Now we are taking one non-metal now. So what we are taking? We are taking the amount of powdered sulfur in a defigurating spoon, and we are going to heat it. So what will happen? Defigurating tube means, here is the picture of defigurating tube. Okay, by this we can easily heat the sulfur. Sulfur is a yellow color powder, as you can see in the diagram. It is a yellow color powder. If it is not available, then you can make an improvised defigurating spoon also. So when we are going to heat, obviously some gas will release. We have to collect the gas in a gas jar, and now remove the spoon after some time and add small quantity of water into this tumbler or in the gas jar, and you have to shake the tumbler well. Now we are getting the solution. We are getting the solution of this gas. So what gas it can be? When sulfur is reacting with oxygen, then obviously the gas will be sulfur dioxide. So when this sulfur dioxide is reacting with water, it will form one acid. Okay, so one acid is produced. What can be the acid? It will be sulfuric acid. Okay, and this sulfuric acid is acidic, and when we are reacting this solution with blue litmus paper, we are getting the red color. Okay, so what this activity proves? It proves that the non-metal oxides are basic in nature. Okay, so one more conclusion we have got. What we have got? We got that non-metal oxides are acidic in nature. Okay. So metal oxides are basic in nature and non-metal oxides are acidic in nature. Now, metals and non-metals in acid and base. You are taking one metal, we are forming a base. Okay, that is base is calcium hydroxide. It is basic in nature. We are taking one non-metal, sulfur, and it is giving sulfurous acid or sulfuric acid. Okay, so it is acidic in nature. Suppose we are taking iron. So what we'll get? We'll get iron oxide or iron hydroxide. So it will also basic in nature. When we are taking carbon, it will give carbonic acid. When we will take phosphorus, it will give phosphoric acid. So likewise we will get the solutions and we can identify the nature. But what is the main thing or main conclusion here? The main conclusion is that metal oxides are basic in nature and non-metal oxides are acidic in nature. Now what we are going to see? Now we are going to see how this metal or non-metals are reacting with water. You know some metals reacts rigorously with oxygen and water. You know that sodium metal is very reactive. It is so reactive that we should store in kerosene, because when we'll keep it as it is, it will burn. It will start burning and an explosion may occur. So for safety purposes, we have to keep it in kerosene. So some metals, they are reacting very fast with water. But some metals like iron, they are reacting very slowly. So it depends upon the nature of the metal. Some non-metals, they do not react with water, but they are very reactive in air. And some non-metals are stored in water. For example, phosphorus, which is also very reactive non-metal. So it catches fire when exposed to air. To prevent the contact of phosphorus with atmospheric oxygen, it is stored in water. So what we have learned in this video, we have learned that how metals and non-metals react with oxygen and with water. So this is all for today. Thank you so much.